Well, hello, and the third one, the trifecta, hello once again. Welcome to the most complete and most unusual tarot reading on the internet and anywhere as far as I can tell. I've been doing tarot for over 20 years, run into a lot of tarot people. Over that time, I have evolved in terms of understanding tarot. At first, when I got in, I thought, I had been doing astrology, numerology, still am. And I thought, why not give tarot a try? Well, I come to find out, from my point of view, from my perspective, tarot really doesn't predict anything. Not much of anything. Once in a while, you'll get lucky. But what it does do is very important. Tarot is the science of potential. We're talking using cards, we're talking frequencies, we're talking energies. And that's what the tarot is all about. It's sort of a measure of your ability to manifest. Manifesting is the kryptonite every human being has right from birth, although really you got to get to 3 or 4, maybe 5 years of age before you see yourself as kind of separate from the world. You begin to want things, need things, desire things, whatever the case may be, and that's when you get into this subconscious mode of manifesting. From the time that you're very, very young till the time that you graduate from college, you are dumbed down, all of us. That's the plan. That's the way the rich people, Rockefellers and others, that's the way they designed or redesigned the education system right after 1900. In fact, Rockefeller said very clearly, I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. So they designed everything so that you're going to work either in an office or a factory. Both are factories. Now, of course, we have robots, and they don't need people, and so they're going to screw people. Who needs them? And we see where that's going to be going. So this is a very critical time, and so you need to really make that manifesting muscle stronger, your kryptonite stronger, and it does not come from a computer, laptop, desktop, none of that stuff, smartphone, no. It doesn't come from artificial intelligence. All that stuff is information from the outside coming in. Manifesting is taking the information, putting together the pictures, the sounds, the feelings, the textures, the smells, and then going out. It comes from you out, not out into you. Out into you is useless. It makes you literally a robot yourself. And that's part of the dumbing down process. Okay? So we live in an extremely, extremely critical time because we are right on the verge of the computer takeover. Well, the computers already have taken over. We're talking about robots, the robotic revolution. So this is literally, without overstating, this is literally a time to get busy living or get busy dying. It's your choice. Get busy living, get busy dying. Took that from the movie The Shawshank, God, if I could say it, Shawshank Redemption. There you go. Because that's a line used in the movie, and it really hit me when I first saw the movie. Get busy living, get busy dying. It's your choice. It's our choice. If you're going to do the living part, you got to do the manifesting part. That is the key that opens the door to your future. Doesn't mean you can be anything you want to be, because that's not true. We live in a world of fate. That's where astrology, numerology come in. Those are the science of cycles. Tarot, the science of potential. The numerology, astrology, the science of cycles. Within cycles, within cycles, within cycles. I mean, it's crazy. I've had the problem for over 50 years. Every single astrologer I've ever run into bollocks the whole thing up as well. There is too much information in an astrological chart. You got the wheel moving, got the ascendant moving, got the midheaven moving, got the nadir moving, got the different aspects forming all the time. Opposition, maybe conjunction, maybe sextile, square, biquintile. I mean, it's just crazy. And then, of course, we got the eclipses, and we got the north and south node, and we got this and that, and the planets are moving, and this. How the hell do you make sense out of that? You don't. It's chop suey. But it's still important, because that's where the fate comes in. From the moment a baby is born, you can do a chart, you can map out their life. Not every single detail, but you can map out the big parts of their life, the ups, the downs. Astrology is very good at looking at somebody's character, their personality traits. Every single famous, rich person, beautiful, all of us are affected by our fate. Somehow in the ether, maybe the spirit world, we decide when we come back to Earth, this is going to be our adventure. This is what we have to learn. Could be, how do I handle resources? How do I handle a lot of money? Do I do it well or do I do it poorly? Maybe it's teaching people. Maybe it's whatever it is. Doesn't make any difference. But we were not all meant to be gorgeous, rich, powerful. Take a look at your family. If you have any brothers and sisters, you're all different. Why the hell are you different? You came from the same house. Why are you different? Well, it's fate. So it's important, and this is where the manifesting helps. Find out what your fate is. Probably get an astrological chart done or do some investigating in terms of astrology, numerology. Understand what the parameters are, what the cycles are. There must be some sort of a frequency imprint on a newborn baby. As soon as it pops out of mom, boom, something there in the frequency catches, and that sets the tone for the rest of your life. And to try to fight against it is constantly ridiculous. And make a life, even if you're successful in a material way, make a life where you're not successful in other ways, the spiritual side. So that's the deal. The astrology, the numerology set the table for the feast. The tarot is the feast. And that's how they all work together. I want you to understand this. I want you to get it. I want to be clear. I want to be concise, although I'm running off at the mouth right now. The point is that I want you to understand the message. Okay? You're here to manifest because that is your kryptonite. We use tarot. We use astrology. We use numerology to give you the big picture, the whole picture, not just the tarot. Here's the energy. What the hell are you going to do with it? Well, if you go back to the astrology, numerology, you'll figure out, you'll know where your strengths and weaknesses are, what you're interested in, and then you can take that tarot energy and apply it appropriately. So, with that in mind, we got all of that set up. How about if we go take a look at the astrology? And what we're going to look at today, because this is an extremely important time, I've talked about this for several weeks. We have the faraway planets, Pluto, Uranus, Neptune, Saturn, even Jupiter, all kind of lined up in an interesting way. We got Pluto in an air sign, Aquarius. We have Uranus in an air sign, Gemini. Okay, good. That friendly energies together. But we also have Neptune and Saturn in Aries. Both of those planets do not like being in Aries, but they're there. And that's fire sign. So you got a lot of air, you have a lot of fire. What you get? A blaze. I mean, you get something that can get out of hand. That's what's going on in society right now. In fact, because you do have the Saturn and Neptune in Aries, you're seeing all these battles, all these fights, all this confusion. People really, honest to God, don't know what the hell they're fighting for. All they know is because these planets are in Aries, they got to fight. For what? Don't know, but not clear. It doesn't make any difference. So with Saturn and Aries, this is the kind of the foundation in that grouping. Oh, by the way, we also have Jupiter, which was in an air sign, Gemini, and in the last couple of weeks or so has moved into Cancer. So now we got this emotional stuff. It doesn't fit in the air and fire categories. It squares, actually, the Neptune and the Saturn. That's tough. It creates a lot more aggravation. Take a look at the world anywhere. I don't give a damn where you look. Europe, Middle East, United States, Canada. It doesn't make any difference. People are pissed off. And they want it different. How they're going to do it, they don't know. What exactly they want to do, they don't know that either. But they're going to fight. So let's go with the Saturn in Aries. This is the one. Saturn is the great discipliner. This accountability. So we're going to look at 3 years. The last 3 times Saturn was in this sign, Aries. Right now, 1996 and 1939. 1939 was the start of World War II. 1996, Windows 95 came out and the internet exploded. Just went crazy in all different kinds of directions. Not because of Windows 95, but because those two things kind of came together. And here we are now in 2025. What do we have? More war, like World War II. More tech, like the internet exploding. Windows 95. You take a look at what they're talking about. They're talking about electronic money. Windows is coming out with something, I understand, maybe a Windows 12 or something like that, and there's all kinds of stuff there. We got the AI. We got all of this stuff. More war, more tech. So Saturn in Aries is going to be one hell of a test. Now, while we're talking about tech, I've added a new part to this thing that I do called the tarot reading. It's called What If? You look at some possibilities. And the what if part for today, this is a quote. Nobel Prize winners, top AI scientists, and even the CEOs of the biggest AI companies themselves have warned that AI threatens human extinction. And isn't that kind of interesting? Because that's exactly what we've seen, 1939, start of World War II. Windows 95, part of a big internet explosion. So the idea of technology and war, here we are in 2025. What do we got? More war, more tech. And the people who run it, control it, the AI part of it says, hey, wait, that's not so fast. Humanity can get rid of itself. We're right on the edge. Either we blow ourselves up or we have the robots take over every part of our life. Stop. Will we? I'm not so sure. How about if we take a look at the tarot energy now, See if we can't take that in with the astrology and kind of tie it all together. So we have three cards. The first one is the Emperor. The Emperor is structure, is leadership. We do have a kind of structure. We do have a kind of leadership. I think basically we are run by a corporate mafia, and people are becoming aware of that. So the idea of this boss, the seer of all, the Emperor, people are questioning about structure and leadership. They're saying, wait a minute, this doesn't work. It's time for a change. That goes back to the planets we were talking about before. Saturn, Neptune in Aries. I don't know what the hell I'm fighting for. I don't know how I'm going to fix it, but I'm going to fight for it. Well, that's what's happening. Subconsciously, people say the structure and leadership has to change. Second card, Seven of Pentacles. It's patience. It's evaluation. It's looking at what the system is like. I mean, is it really serving us? Or is it serving us up for dinner? That's what people are trying to figure out. They have a pretty good idea it's not a good thing. They want to change it. What the plans are, again, are kind of vague. They know they just want their freedom. They want their, maybe a democracy. They want their humanity honored and respected. How you get there, that's the problem. And therein is where it gets very sticky. Seven of Pentacles. Third card, Knight of Swords. Knights always bring gifts. Swords are positivity, thoughts, ideas, beliefs. You and I and everybody is like him on the horse, racing to get an answer. Damn it, I'm going to find out why. I'm going to know why. I'm going to know what I want to do. And you're beginning to see some of this spread over. I expect to see civil war in the United States. We're already there, but I mean really getting to the point where states maybe even separate or cut themselves in half or whatever. Same thing going on in Western Canada. You're seeing the same thing going on in Europe. Elections are being called because the European World Economic Forum folks don't like the results, so they're saying that the election doesn't count. People are pissed off. Everybody's marching. Everybody's up in arms. Everybody's had enough, but they're not quite there yet. But we're racing. We know things have to change. We know we have to chop wood. We got to get to the business. Get busy living, get busy dying. We understand that now. That's the message for today. Hey, life is short, no rewinds. Time is fast, no replays. Love and enjoy every moment. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your efforts. Who knows where they're going to lead? Be gentle with yourself. Hey, like and subscribe as well. That wraps up the whole podcast for today. I need your help. Like anybody who does a podcast these days, they have to deal with the weasels who run the platforms. And man, they are weasels first class. So please, our only defense is you liking and subscribing. So between now and the next time you and I get together to do a little bit of manifested tarot, peace and blessings.